Okay, and 40 is the addend. Total addend. Total addend and addend. Okay, let's look down here. 70 is the addend. 110 is the total, and 40 is the addend. Total addend and addend. Okay. Number 2 says write the 8 equations for this math mountain. Label each number as the total or an addend. Okay, so let's look over here. I have 80, 60, 140. So we can go ahead and label them down here as A for addend, and this is the total. When we add 80 and 60 together, we get 140. So right here, we're going to write the equation just like they did them for us up here. We're going to do it now by ourselves. Okay, so the first equation we can write is 140 equals 80 plus 60. Okay, go ahead and write that down. Then we can simply switch it around and we can say 80 plus 60 equals 140. Okay, and you can label them above total, addend, and total. Okay. Okay, let's go on to the next one. 140 equals, now we're going to switch these two numbers, okay? 60 plus 80. Okay, and now instead of writing the total first, we're going to write the addends first. 60 plus 80 equals 140. And go ahead and label them on the top. Total, addend. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and write some subtraction equations now. Okay, so 60, I'm starting off right here. 60 equals 140 minus 80. Okay, let's write label them. 60 is an addend, 140 is the total, and 80 is the addend. Okay, now we're going to write the same equation again, but instead of putting the equals sign first, we're going to put it at the end. So we're going to write this equation first. 140 minus 80 equals 60. And let's go ahead and label it. Total, addend, and addend. Okay. Now we've used 60 equals 140 minus 80. What do you think I'm going to start off with here first? Which is the number that we have not used as the equals? Okay, I've used 60. I haven't used 80. So now let's write 80 equals 140 minus 60. And right here, 140 minus 60 equals 80. Total, addend, and addend. Okay, that's all. Let's go ahead and flip the page. Okay, let's look at number 3. It says solve each problem, label your answers. Number 3, to add. add 2. Chris's group picked 80 apples. His mother's group picked 60 more. How many apples do they have now? Okay, so we're going to write an equation. It's going to be 80 because Chris's group picked 80 apples. Okay, and his mother's group picked 60 more. We want to know how many apples do they have now. So we're trying to find the total. We know the two addends are 60 and 80. So let's go ahead and write our equation. 80 plus 60 equals something. Okay, you can show your work right here. Make your mountain. Okay, you can have 80 as your addend. 60 is your addend. You want to know what the total is. Okay, so when you add 60 and 80, what do you get? When you add 60 and 80, let's do it over here on the side. 60 plus 80. 0 plus 0 is 0. What's 8 plus 6? 14. Okay, so altogether they now have 140 apples. So that's our total. Okay, there you go. Let's look at number 2. Take from. Okay, take from is subtraction. Chris's group had 140 apples. They ate 80 of them. How many apples do they have now? Okay, so let's circle the information that we know. They had 140 apples. They ate. That's a key word for subtraction or taking away. We want to know how many apples do they have now. Okay, we can make our math mountain on the side. If you don't need to do it, you don't have to do it. Okay, but if it helps, then go ahead and make a math mountain. 80, and now I'm missing one of my addends over here. Okay, so let's write our equation. 140 minus 80 is going to equal, what's our other addend? 60. Okay, they have 60 apples now, and that is our other addend. Okay. Number 5, put together, take apart. Allison's class brought 70 juice boxes to the picnic. Taylor's class brought 50 juice boxes. How many juice boxes did they bring all together? Okay, let's go ahead and circle the information that we know. I know Allison's class brought 70 juice boxes. Taylor's class brought 50 juice boxes. I want to know all together how many juice boxes did they bring. Okay, so I can write an equation. 70 plus 60 equals the total. Okay, you can make a math mountain again. 70, 60, and the total or the sum. Okay, go ahead and try to figure out what 70 plus 60 is. Okay, so you should have gotten 120 juice boxes. Okay, 70 plus 60 equals 120 altogether. Okay, number 6, put together, take apart. There are 120 juice boxes at the picnic. Allison puts 70 on tables and leaves the rest in the cooler. How many juice boxes are in the cooler? Okay, so I know there are 120 juice boxes at the picnic. Allison puts 70 on the table. I want to know how many are still in the cooler. Okay, So right now we're going to start with 120 minus 70 equals something, okay? If you look at your math mountain, I see 120, I see 70, so I know the nut it's going to equal 60 because that's my addend that's missing right here. So 120 minus 70 equals 60 juice boxes that are still in the cooler. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and look at page 275, the next page over. It says, the equations and math mountains below show the word problems on page 274, okay, the page we were just on. So let's go ahead and fill these in. These are fairly easy because we've already solved them, okay? Here's the problem number 3. Same problem is shown to us right here. Chris's group had 80 apples. His mother's group had 60. We want to know the total. If we look over here, our total was 140. Okay, and that goes right up here on our math mountain as the total, 140. Okay, let's look at this one. Total 140. They ate 80 apples and they now have 60 apples left. Okay, now this one, Allison's class had 70 juice boxes. Taylor's class brought 50. All together they had, if you look at number 5, they had 120 juice boxes. That's the total. 70 plus 50 equals 120. Okay, 120 minus 70 is going to equal 50.